It's your girl Ro in the building, and I'm here to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to share with you how to make candy grapes. Now let's get with the supplies that is needed. These supplies are going to be used in today's video. I'm going to share with you how to make the different candy toppings, how to make the recipe, and also share with you a technique for a longer shelf life. Now the supplies here are for the candy toppings. So I'm going to go over each one. Jolly Ranchers is one. Lifesavers. Next we have Skittles. Now with your Skittles or any other colored candy, you can separate them to go with a great color scheme for your candy grapes, which I'm doing green and yellow. Next up is Starburst, a great topping to create. And if you need a lot of them, go to your local Sam's Club and get this jar right here. Here I have Fruit by the Foot. You can also use fruit roll-ups. You want to also get you a good gel food coloring that's going to create nice vibrant colors, and I'm using neon green and neon yellow. Also, candy flavors. You're going to need you a oil candy flavor, not extracts. Oil candy flavors is more potent than extracts. One of the most asked questions, what type of pot to use when making a candy mixture? I prefer a sturdy, heavy bottom pot that will heat up evenly. Thinner pots will cook fast and burn out your mixture. I also recommend that you use candy thermometers when making a hot candy mix. These two in particular, I prefer and are great to use. I'll be using this one in today's video. Now, when making your candy toppings for your candy grapes, I recommend that you use a blender or a food processor. Using a high-powered blender that has 1,000 watts and up is better to use so you don't burn out your motors when using the smaller wattage blenders. Also, you can use a food processor that's 300 watts and up as well. Now it's time to prepare our grapes. So here I'm using a veggie wash, which I love to use and I always use on my fresh fruit. And the vegetable wash is just a cleaning product just designed to aid in the removal of dirt, wax, and pesticides from any fruit or vegetables before you consume them. But if you choose not to use the veggie wash, you can use cold water and vinegar. Either process that you use, just be sure to rinse and dry them completely. Now you want to take your toothpicks or skewers. I like to use the long one, and you want to insert them on either side, but the side where the hole comes from when they come from the vine of the grape. If the hole is a little bigger, then you want to insert them on the other side. Once you have prepared them, set your grapes to the side. They don't need to go back in the refrigerator. Just set them to the side. Now I'm going to show you how to wrap your grapes. You must use firm grapes, no soft grapes. I'm using Fruit by the Foot. You can also wrap your grapes with fruit roll-ups. Now here I'm just taking a piece and wrapping from one side all the way around, and then starting at the top and ending where I started and just cut it off. And you want to press in any edges that's sticking out so the Fruit by the Foot can be snug and tight to the grape. Now, the key to keeping the long shelf life for these particular grapes, no matter what recipe you use, even mine, they will last longer when they're wrapped and dipped in the candy coating, or when they're wrapped, dipped in the candy coating and the candy topping and placed in the freezer as soon as you get done dipping in your candy mixture. All right, I done did these many a times, and this is what I came up with. So the bowl that I just brought in was some that I had in the refrigerator. After I'm done wrapping my grapes, I've just placed them in the refrigerator until I'm ready to use them. You can even place these in your packages just like this, just wrapped. They're good. I just bit into one, so they're good just like this if you don't dip them. All right? Now it's time to make the candy toppings. Here I have Starburst and Skittles. These particular candies are a soft, chewy candy, and they need to be froze for 1 hour before you place them in your blender or food processor. Once the hour is up, then you can place them in your blender or food processor and blend them until they come down to a nice fine crumble. Now here, this little blender is a chopper, and it's a manual chopper, and you use it right at the top handle here. And I use this when I'm making like small toppings. So don't use this too much because you will burn it out. So remember, as I mentioned earlier in the video, get a high-powered blender. All right. So these are the Skittles chopped down. Now, once your toppings are done, now remember, these are a soft, chewy topping. So you want to add 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar to a cup of the topping. All right. This will help the topping from being sticky or clumpy. And once you mix this all together, you're going to put it in an airtight container and place it in the freezer until you're ready to use. Any candy that is soft and chewy that you want to blend or chop up, it needs to be froze before blending, okay? So put it in an airtight container and then freeze it until you're ready to use, okay? If you leave it out on the counter at room temperature, it will clump up. So keep the soft blended, the soft and chewy candy toppings in the freezer. So I'm also adding, well, this one is a little smaller, so I added a half tablespoon of powdered sugar. And you don't want to add too much powdered sugar because it will definitely change the taste and the color of your topping. So use a tablespoon to a cup is fine. And if you make more, just add accordingly. Now, these are Jolly Ranchers. I'm using green because my theme is green and yellow. And you want to just chop this up. You do not need to freeze the Jolly Ranchers, but you do want to add the powdered sugar to a cup of this. That will definitely help keep your candy from sticking and becoming hard while it's in the airtight container. All right. Now, if you want to do powdered topping, this is the Jolly Rancher powdered topping. You just keep blending it until it comes to a powder consistency. Now, I love the Lifesavers because when it's blended down, it comes out very beautiful with all these different colors that you see here. All right. And again, you don't need to freeze this, but I do add a tablespoon to a cup of this particular topping. And these are the Skittles. This is also a soft, chewy topping. And I added a tablespoon of the powdered sugar. And these are the wild berry Skittles. So they look a little ashy, but you know, they're good. So now let's get into the recipe. I'm using my half recipe from my 411. And that's 2 cups of sugar, half cup of water, and a half cup of light corn syrup. You want to make sure that it's mixed in and well incorporated. Now, if you're going to be making a lot of grapes, then you want to use the full recipe, which is 4 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water, and 1 cup of light corn syrup. Now, you want to take your candy thermometer and clip it onto the side of the pot. You want to make sure the tip doesn't touch the bottom of the pot because it'll give off a false reading. You want to remove your candy mixture at 300 degrees. You also want to cook your mixture on medium-high heat. If you have a digital, you want to stay at 5, between 5 or 6. Now, what you want to look for with this particular candy thermometer is this blue indicator that I'm pointing at. When it begins to cook, it will rise up and your mixture will begin to bubble really fast, as you see here. Now, once it reaches to 250 degrees is when I normally add in my flavoring. So as you see this blue indicator, right here, it has reached to 250 degrees. All right, now some people add their flavor at the end, and that is okay. But I add mine at 250 degrees, and I add just a few drops to a half mixture. To a full recipe, you can add a full dram. Don't add 2 to 3 drams because then it'll taste like medicine. So as it reaches 300 degrees, the mixture will begin to slow down, and then it's time to remove. You want to take that thermometer and add it to a cup of water to break down that candy that is at the tip of that thermometer. Now I'm going to be using the Chef Master's Lemon Yellow, and I'm adding in 4 to 6 drops. And as you see, I'm mixing and you don't see the full color. So this is what you call transparent. So I'm going to add the Chef Master's White, and I'm adding in a few drops to this mix at a time, and here is the color coming through. You do not want to just drizzle a bunch of color into the mixture, which is going to cause your mixture to become thick. So I added 4 to 6 drops, and I'm going to add a little bit more white. See how many drops that I just added there? I'm not drizzling a lot, okay? Because this mixture will become thick over a period of time. So when you dip your grapes, you got to dip swiftly but carefully. All right? So as you see here, it is ready to go. And now we're going to add the white. I'm going to do the green. This is the same recipe. I went through the same process. So I added the white first because I want a lighter green. And sometimes when you want to achieve certain colors you want to get a lighter color, add the white first and then add in the main color. All right. So I'm adding in 4 to 6 drops to this mix, and I'm just mixing it in until I get the color that I desire. And for the record, I did not make these 2 colors at the same time. Please do not do that. So if you're going to create 2 colors, do 1 color at a time. All right. So I added another drop just to bring out that neon look, and that will just about do it. And we're going to get prepared to dip our grapes. All right, so I'm going to prep the wrap grapes. You just stick the skewers in there. Remember to use longer toothpicks or skewers so you don't burn off your fingertips. And you just want to prep these just like you did the regular grapes, and then set them to the side. I'm using a cookie sheet with parchment paper to get ready to dip my grapes. Now I'm starting off with the regular grapes, and I'm dipping them in the Starburst mix. Now remember, when you get ready to use your Starburst, remove it from the freezer and then make sure it's broke down and easy to apply to your grape. All right, so you're gonna dip, drain. I do scrape my grape just a little bit, and then I roll it around right into the mixture. And make sure you shake it up a little bit. Now this is the wrap grape. I'm dipping into the Skittles. And just as soon as you get done draining that grape, dip it right into your topping. Shake it up so that you can get an even application around your grapes. Now it's best to wrap your grape all the way with your topping. That also will help with a longer shelf life. And remember, grapes are to be consumed within 24 to 48 hours. If the grapes are left at room temperature, they will begin to break down within hours. If you want them to last, after you dip your grapes, place them in the container, and then an airtight container, and then place them in the freezer until you're ready to give them to your customer or to your friends. Okay. Now I'm just taking a spoon and I'm doing a drizzle I'm using the same mix, and I'm just doing a drizzle. Now, if you don't want to use a spoon, you can use like another stick and just dip it into the candy mix and just drizzle. Once it's dried, then you just break off any extra candy that is around the grape. Now this is the yellow mix. Now I need y'all to comment down below which color did you like best. Now for me, I like the yellow because it was nice and vibrant. And you see how that color came out so beautifully. Now also, when you're doing grapes, with doing these and doing my homework and research, the solid grapes that's dipped like this without being wrapped tend to break down quicker than the ones that are wrapped or coated with a candy coating. All right, so just keep in mind, if you want your grapes to last a long time, I prefer to wrap them, and that is a process because then you got to wrap all your grapes. But just keep that in mind if you choose to do so. But look how beautifully this grape is wrapped. And again, I'm using my spoon to make my drizzle onto the yellow grapes. Now here are the grapes all done. I love these. These ones are my favorite. When removing your skewer or toothpick, be gentle. Pull it out, just a little twist, and then pull out so you don't crack your candy mix. And these are the green ones. I love them both, but my favorite is the yellow. So be sure to comment down below which ones are your favorite. Now here is a packaging idea that I would recommend. This is a 1 pound container, and this sticker you can get from Amazon, or you can have your business sticker so you can brand your products. But this container, you just fill it up. I don't count the grapes, but if you want to weigh it by the ounces or the pound, that's totally up to you. That's what I prefer. But with this 1 pound container, I would charge $15. I would choose 2 sizes. So this one will be $15, and then a 2 pound will be between $25 to $35, depending on your market and other things that need to be included when doing pricing for your grapes. So make sure you choose a selective size that you want to offer so you can know your price point and the supplies that you need to purchase when it comes to the packaging. So once this is sealed, it goes right into the freezer until it's delivered or picked up. Now this is another container. Again, this can go for a pound. I just fill it up. I don't count them. But these grapes are fairly large. So again, this is a better container to use when it comes to an airtight container. And again, my sticker is on it, and they go well in the freezer. Now here is the part you want to listen for. The crunch, right? Well, here you have it. Now keep in mind, these are not frozen. If they were frozen, it would be a louder crunch, but I prefer them this way. So here is the cleaning process. When the mix is done, try to take a spatula or a spoon and break open a hole so that when you boil out your mix, it don't boil up and explode. So if it's completely solid, that mix will explode. So you got to be careful. So if you ever get down to the bottom of your mix, try to break open a hole if you have a little left in there, and fill it up with water. And you want to boil this until it boils out to a liquid. Now, when it looks like this, it's not done. So just maneuver it around so that candy don't stick, but it boils out like this. And once it has boiled to just water, and it's not going to go back to candy, then you can pour it down your sink. I know y'all gonna be in the comments like, I'm not pouring it down in my sink. Don't worry, I've been doing it for years and I ain't had no plumbing problems. So when it boils out, you pour it out, and this is what you get. I use some Dawn and I clean my pot out. And if you have any candy that's still stuck to the side of your pot, like you see here, just take your towel and rub over it really, really good, and it will come off. But this is how I clean my pot. Nothing special. Just boil out your candy until it comes to a liquid. Get some Dawn and clean your pot completely. Rinse it and you're good to go. All right? Just like that. Now, I hope this video has helped you in some type of way and answered any questions that you may have. All supplies that I used in this video will be listed in the description box below this video. These are the grapes, all done. If you are new here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And it's your girl Ro about to go, and I'll see you all in the next video.